how it's hard? It's called necrotic. The tissue underneath is dead.
If you've ever wondered what could make fentanyl, probably the most lethal street drug in modern history, any worse, tonight we have the answer. Tranq. Drug users turned into real-life zombies right down to the rotten flesh. We didn't want to believe it either, but it is real and it is here. All documented in this DEA report, the growing threat of xylazine mixing with illicit drugs. Xylazine is an animal tranquilizer. Tranq is what you get when you mix it with fentanyl. Lab hits for xylazine are up 112% in the West. Deaths are rising, too, into the triple digits. Xylazine has been confirmed in overdose deaths in Snohomish and King counties, at least 12 that we know of. And those most familiar with the drug fear, it will get much worse.
He didn't have a flesh-eating disorder, he didn't have an abscess, and he doesn't know how his finger went missing. And to me, that is just strange. He said it was just miraculously gone.
A narcotic nightmare.
One young lady was telling me about it, and she was saying that she used it and then was out and didn't remember anything.
Moving like a chameleon through an already dangerous drug supply.
And that scared her enough to want to go to detox.
As if fentanyl wasn't deadly enough, suppliers are mixing in a new ingredient and creating a new drug crisis from the East Coast to Puget Sound. It goes by many names.
Fetty powder, Tranq dope is the big one. Everyone seems to kind of know what Tranq dope is.
Rochelle Long is a mental health professional embedded with the Marysville Police Department. Just this month, she put out a warning to colleagues and clinics to brace themselves for the full-on arrival of Tranq. Tranq is short for tranquilizer, in this case, xylazine. It's strong enough for big animals like horses. When it's mixed with fentanyl, it gives users a brand new kind of high.
So like they start dancing, and they seem kind of happy and they're just having fun, to an immediate like zombie-like trance, like staring through you as if like a horror film.
What it does to the human body is so terrible it looks like a film effect. But in cities on the East Coast, where Tranq first spread, it's all too real.
See how it's hard? It's called necrotic. The tissue underneath is dead. Right here where you see this green stuff coming out, that's because you have pus. It's infected.
Sarah Laurel is the founder of the Savage Sisters Outreach Program in Philadelphia. She says Tranq is everywhere now.
So it took us about 2 years for it to dominate and take over our supply. Whereas in Boston, for instance, it was almost non-existent in July and August, and it is now in 70% of their supply.
Sarah and her team are treating Tranq addicts every day.
You want to grab Sarah for me?
We have somebody coming right now to transfer you to the hospital. Is that okay?
Doing their best with bandages, compassion, and Narcan. But while it still remedies fentanyl overdoses, Narcan doesn't block the ill effects of xylazine in the body.
It's pretty terrifying, largely because we don't know much about it, and we don't have a reversal drug for it. We have to begin testing why it is causing these wounds within humans.
For people like Melanie Bettis, the euphoria Tranq produced almost seemed worth it. She recovered from her Tranq addiction after almost losing her arm.
So I had never heard the term xylazine. I didn't know what was happening to me. And I would go to urgent care and stuff like that, and they would, give me an antibiotic or tell me I had MRSA. So it was definitely scary, but then you hit a point where it just becomes normal and it's just another part of getting high.
Because no state is widely testing for Tranq, fentanyl users are at risk of getting hooked without even knowing they're taking it. That lack of awareness here is what scares Mike Kersey with Courage to Change, an addiction recovery service in Everett, who started to see the results firsthand.
Well, I'd heard about it, but only from a couple of addicts. One of them that got into detox and said that they'd been using the Fetty powder, and it was so much stronger than the Perk 30 or the fake Perk pills, the blues, that you heard so much about.
For now, it's a race against time, with Kersey trying to reach users and get them help before Tranq gets to them first. People like Nick Mackey, who just completed a 28-day treatment program.
It feels good. It feels really good. I could never imagine I've done this for myself.
Nick is on his way to transitional housing, where he plans to hang up his certificate of completion and hang on to his sobriety.
Taking that first step and cleaning yourself up is the best thing you can ever do. And you can live life. This is a good life to live.
Nick has never tried Tranq, but he knows enough about fentanyl to understand that anything that makes it more powerful will make it more deadly.
I couldn't imagine. That wouldn't be a very good combination. I mean, the by itself is it's taking a lot of people out. You mix it with that, it's going to be completely overpowering. I'm worried about it.
If there's any good news to report on Tranq, it's this. Scientists are working on developing a test strip for xylazine like the ones developed to detect fentanyl. And members of Congress have even floated the idea of making it a controlled substance while still maintaining access to the drug for veterinarians.
It's grim. It's uncomfortable to see, to film, but then it is the reality here. And it isn't just a story about addiction, as if that wasn't enough. Because on the streets of Philadelphia, it's about something new, a substance that is being cut by dealers into the drug supply, and it's having the most devastating impact.
It just came and it got worse and worse.
Do you mind if I ask how long you've been using?
For like the last 10 years.
But these wounds are something new?
Yes, very new. Like 6 months new.
The wound is a consequence of a devastating new twist in America's drug epidemic.
Thank you so much, guys.
Because the substances he's addicted to are now mixed by dealers.
See you on Saturday. Come see me, okay?
With something that's rotting his skin. It's called xylazine, or Tranq, an animal tranquilizer cut with America's street drug of the moment, fentanyl. Itself utterly awful. It's volunteers who treat the wounds where they find them.
It's going to be on his leg.
Doctors, hospitals have no protocols for this. In the worst cases, they are amputating limbs. Is this something new, seeing the wounds?
Something that just started in the past 9 months.
On these streets, they're learning as they go. And almost everyone here seems to have the wounds. Sam is just 28.
These are not injection site wounds. Like, these are all wounds like other than injection site.
This is kind of a common presentation that we've seen with these types of wounds, with the fentanyl and Tranq, is that these kind of like random pustules, and then they kind of erode through the skin really rapidly. So you were probably fine one day, and then all of a sudden these were there, right?
Exactly.
Sam's story is such an insight into the stigmatized world of suffering and addiction.
I have not been able to detox off the Tranq successfully. It's just every time I get to day 10 and I'm still withdrawing, every day that I'm out here longer, it's another piece of, my values, my soul, my essence of who I am is getting lost. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like, how much can you take? And then you see these people here that are just a shell. There's just nothing there anymore. And you know that, you know, they are living 2 minutes at a time of their life, like, just to get that use, and that's all that matters. And I'm so lucky that there's still more of me left. And it's literally decimating the American youth, you know. It's just the quiet killer going on right now.
The police are here, but this is not a neighborhood that could ever be described as policed. It's beyond the control of law enforcement.
This left for.
And so our guides through Kensington are Ronnie and Dawn.
What's going on with your leg?
Both in recovery from addiction. Angels in Motion is their charity.
Here's another water for you.
And from our time with them, it's so clear that for the people here, they truly are angels.
I've been to more funerals than you know.
Because you get to know these
Yes.
people so well.
Yes, and like I have their pictures in my phone, their cell phones, because I've treated, you know, I've helped them out so much, and then they've passed away, and I can't get rid of the phone number and all that. Want a snack bag? Is that all your hair? It's gorgeous. Stay safe, okay? There you go.
Ronnie and Dawn wanted to take us to an underpass. It was cleared by the city authorities a few years back, but the people moved on, had nowhere to go.
Hi, need a snack bag?
And beyond the common struggle here, each story on each street corner is particular. Zach's path here began in Iraq.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
He's a veteran.
This place eats everything and anything that is good. I need probably to be arrested, either put in jail. I need to go to detox and a rehab somewhere far away. I just need to get out of here.
Our brain tells us to breathe. Their brain tells them to breathe and get drugs, or you will die. Like, that's the kind of, maybe not those exact words, but like that's the feeling that they have. If I don't have this, I'm going to die. I'm going to be so sick. And like, if it was easy, we wouldn't have this problem.
Around the corner, this cruel otherworldliness is strangely compounded. The music is supposed to deter homelessness. Of course it doesn't, and so to a classical soundtrack, we meet Danielle.
Right now, like, there's like barely any fentanyl in it, so you go through withdrawal faster.
Dealers add the Tranq to bulk the supply. It increases their margins. It also makes the withdrawal so much more intense.
I was banging my head off the walls. I was hoping to knock myself out because it is really that bad. It's so bad. The worst I've ever felt in my entire life.
Some of those we met here wanted us to show their faces. With others, we've agreed not to.
This is me shooting right here, and it like goes through, it's like trying to come out my skin.
So you're shooting on one side, but the injury is on the other side as a result of the drug.
Danielle is a mum of 3 young boys.
Yesterday I was crying all day. I don't know what to do. I really don't.
You know, this is a story that could simply be told through the shock of the images, but it is so much deeper than that. It reflects systemic problems, access to addiction treatment, mental health care, housing, health insurance. What we've seen here, the people we've got to know, their story is one of fundamental American failure. We asked to speak to the city's mayor. He was not available, but in an office overlooking Kensington, Dr. Andrew Best is the city director for substance use prevention.
As of right now, there's no state or federal funding available to mitigate some of the challenges with xylazine.
This is the forefront of a new crisis. Is that right?
Yes, I would definitely agree. We've definitely already have, been contacted by different cities. We've met with other cities just to talk about our experiences.
A big challenge.
It is a challenge, yes.
America is so often defined by 2 words: hope and opportunity. And yet on these streets, we found so little of either.
Good afternoon. Shafan, we are the world. Came down here, I'm still a little sick, but I always like to give back and encourage the sick and suffering. And with that being said, how are you today?
Good.
What's your name?
Jamal Bell.
Jamal? You ain't had to say your last name. I'm gonna edit that out. Jamal, I see you're in need to go to the hospital. How long have you been suffering?
Months. I ain't been a year yet, but months.
How long have you been out Kensington?
I don't know who buy morphine.
Nah. 3 years.
3 years?
Or more.
What happened that you decided this was gonna be your lifestyle?
I didn't decide it. It just happened.
It just happened? How were you introduced?
5 people. Nothing specific.
Right.
People, places, and things, situations.
Right. Can you speak up a little bit? I'm sorry.
People, places, things, situations.
Right.
I talk low.
Okay, me too. But so we can hear you. Tell me a little bit about yourself. What did you do before this?
I don't even know. I've been getting lit so long. I was getting high before this, before I came down here. So
Right. No, I'm saying before you even picked up the drugs.
I was in jail.
Okay.
I was in jail for a bunch of years.
Sorry to hear that. How old are you, if you mind me asking?
31.
31? I come down here and I encourage people. I share hope. I give, myself so that maybe it'll change somebody else. Do you have any children?
Yeah, I got 5 sons. I got 5 sons, 6 sons, 2 daughters.
What area are you from? Philly? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Not homeless, not on drugs.
You sleep out here?
I live out here.
You live out here? What can you give to somebody that's struggling and is from anywhere that want to come down here? What can you offer them? Tell them about Kensington.
It gotta happen before it starts. It gotta happen. Meaning, don't even pick up. You're not thinking about nothing else that you never use. I tell people all the time I don't use.
Stop. They keep go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, once you get older, like anything else, it's easier to resist. People that's like 30 that never done drugs, they never gonna do drugs. You know what I mean? People that's 40, they never gonna do drugs once they get past a certain age. So it's just, having that control. You never gotta worry about none of this. If you can make it to a certain age in anything, I feel like.
Right.
The tolerance just goes up. If you ain't do it by now, you ain't gonna do it.
Okay. But you suffering like that, how do you feel, like, far as yourself? Waking up, things like that, and not being able to move like you want to move?
I mean, to me, they can happen in anything, any situation. Mine just happened to be drug-related injury. So people are going through this type of shit every day.
Right.
I mean, it's just hard because of my circumstances.
I can't hear you. You guys speak up just a little bit.
It's hard because of my circumstances.
Because your what?
My circumstances.
Oh, your circumstances.
I put
Okay.
myself in.
Right. Do you plan on going to the hospital?
Definitely. I don't want to be ridiculous. Definitely going to the hospital.
Would you like to go today?
I like to go every day, but I don't go. So I got to figure out why is that.
Yes. What's stopping you from taking care of yourself? 'Cause I know you don't want to be rolling around in Kensington. Do you? I know you don't, brother. And I don't want you to, and I don't even know you. Seriously.
That's why I gotta figure it out. I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and suffering at it.
Right. But you can do this. That's the first start of taking care of yourself. You know that, right? It's a challenge, but you can do this. You can do this, brother.
I know it gotta start with me. That's why I say every day I want to use it, but I don't do it. I gotta figure them things out. One step at a time, figure it out.
Right.
I'm not with time against me, so.
Now, if I told you and I offered you to go to the hospital right now, would you go?
No.
No? Maybe tomorrow morning. If it's not raining, I'll be down here tomorrow morning. If you need a way to get down there, brother, we could get there.
Tomorrow morning.
Seriously?
Come check.
Okay. Say your name one more time, because I meet a lot of people.
Maul.
Maul. Maul, I want to see something different. I see a man that might be struggling with, anything. But you could do this. And you know you can. You are a very strong black man. I see it in your eyes. Pray on it. Are you Muslim? No. You believe in God?
I believe in higher power.
It works. With that being said, Mo, I want to thank you for this interview. I hope you get yourself together.
Thank you as well.
Shafan, we are the world.
Yeah, guys, this drug street name is called Tranq dope. It's essentially fentanyl on steroids. It can be twice as addictive and can be twice as deadly. And Narcan is used to help, but it doesn't always work. I did meet someone today named Brock Bevel. He is an addiction recovery specialist. He's showing us video he's taken in Arizona to